This is Richard Greaves for T-Shirt Report. I'm here with Beppe Quaglia from Virus Inks. We're here at the M&R booth where he's printing another one of his wet-on-wet fabulous creations. Beppe,
okay.
Show us how this is working.
Okay. Hello to everybody, first of all. As you can see here, we are printing wet-on-wet. First, we go to print white underbase. Usually we use two different white underbase. One in 305 mesh, and the second one 150. The reason is to offer the white underbase two levels in order to have shade off and light in the same time. So we can move over there. This is the second white. As usual, the white has been flashed because do not exist any wet-on-wet white, unfortunately. Right. Perhaps in the future. And here, after the flashing, we have 6 following color, one next to the other without any flash in the middle. And this is a big advantage in terms of energy saving, environment respect, but also for productivity, because you can control much better. The flash in the middle are not going to affect the ink inside the screen, and everything is smoother than usual. As you can see, any of the ink, despite they are in the screen since this morning, are very, very wet. They do not dry, not even in the sides.
It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. These have been running since what, 8 this morning?
Yes, 8 this morning, and we finished this afternoon without any problem. Same as done yesterday, really successful. No once we had to clean the screen at all. And first of all, as you can see, there is no water to spray, etc., because the spray of the water is something going to affect the ink, because it's going to change the balance between the components. So it's just a solution, immediate solution, but on the way is not the perfect solution. So we don't want to use the water. Has to be used only for washing the screen, cleaning the screen. That's it.
Well, many people, of course, as the ink gets thicker throughout the day, they just add more water to the ink.
This is because, in my opinion, it's a wrong situation. So it's solving the problem at the moment, but influence of the water, additional water inside the product is going to change the balance inside the ink. Mm-hmm. So you can get the benefit in terms of clogging, but probably you are going to pay the bill later, for example, in terms of durability.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that a lot of your inks are just sitting open. These are water-based inks that you're not covering up even with saran wrap or clear plastic wrap. No. They're just open. They're not drying.
Yeah. We always suggest to close the ink after the use because it's important. It's always a water-based. Have to reduce the exposure to the hair in order to block the evaporation. But they are also a new technology, water-based, so they are component helping us to give the life a little bit longer, and first of all, to reduce the drying in the screen as much as possible. Mm-hmm. They are not a plastisol, but they are going to behave like a plastisol.
Excellent.
We can leave also the ink inside the screen for a couple of hours without any problem. So you can get lunch and then come back, couple of strokes, you are ready to start again. The only attention has to be the flooding. The flooding has to leave a rich deposit of the ink because this is going to move down into the stencil, avoiding the clogging.
So can we get your man to stop halfway so we can look under the screen and look at the build-up since this morning?
Okay. I suggest to look the last one. So the last one is the most sensible to the build-up. If you want to have a look.
So let's go down.
With the camera.
Hardly any build-up at all. How often have you wiped down the screens today?
Sorry?
How often have you wiped down the screens?
Never touched any screen since this morning. We just print and nothing else.
Okay.
Nothing else. So
Can we touch it right away like we did in Chicago?
No water to clean.
Right.
No spray, no everything. It's simply a qualitative ink available to support the difficulty of the printing, especially when they face the water base.
Now, I notice you're stacking these up. Can we bring one out that hasn't been touched and touch it like we did in Chicago?
Absolutely.
Wait, put your hands up.
So no cuts.
No.
And one more thing. You can do also like that. Okay, you reopen everything and the print is still perfect. This is a solution not to exhibit something, no, but it's because sometimes when you go sometimes to put the t-shirt into the dryer can happen, then something like that happens. So this is a reject. Instead, in this condition, is not a reject. So another additional benefit to the water base at the service of the printer. This is the most important thing, because we was burned like a printer. We suffer many of the trouble typical of the screen printing. And so anytime we go to project an ink, we go to think how many problems we can solve for our friend printers. This is the reason why we are very careful to the attention and always go to launch something new, something technological, something a little bit over the usual way we think about screen printing.
I noticed that we stopped the press here. I bet you we've had at least a minute, and the printers are not freaking out as they would for so many years as we have had with water-based ink. So we got some other designs we could look at.
Now, here we have, Richard, here we have some of the print. Many of the visitors visiting our booth has a chance to see our print. We just bring some of them to show the customer something over the regular print. This is a product for production, so very important to see. But we have also many specialty. Here we have, for example, this is our white. This is our white, the quality of the white. As you can see, is very transparent. The control of the dot gain is very, very good.
I'm seeing very tiny small dots. Excellent.
Yeah, and despite that, despite the untouchable result, if you do like that, there is no cracking in the ink. This is what I mean quality. The quality have to provide a solution and provide solution to the normal problem. So before to make a product, we go to establish the precise target to do, and then we go to create the price. This is to consider the price. This is the reason why sometimes our ink is a little bit more expensive than the other, but not because we are asking for more, because we are providing more. That's the most important thing. This is, for example, is a 4-color process. As you can see, the print is very large and the white is very present into the print. But what I want to show you is the softness of this print, and I think is not like the Discharge, is much better. So 4-color process plus the specialty. This is another 4-color process. As you can see, the color do not show any process color, but you can achieve any kind of result and detail. Everything else could be shown. Here we have a specialty, for example, this is a flock adhesive, flock transfer adhesive. This is another print, 4-color process. This is very difficult print to achieve in 4-color process. So it's important to have color very well balanced in the coloration. And first of all, the pigment have to be pure, without any influence of other color inside the color itself. Otherwise, you go to destroy the balance between the colors separated.
Now, what's this final color? There's a black texture.
Yeah, this is Cube. This is Cube product. Is a high density ink, water base. And as you can see, it's possible to have high density respecting also the fine line. This is due the possibility to use very fine mesh, high density emulsion. But first of all, the ink has not to be too sticky. Otherwise, it's very difficult to transfer over the mesh and requires much more pressure and you go to destroy the design. Or request to use coarse mesh. That is not the case. And again, 4-color plus glitter. So the quality of the separation is good, but what I want to show is that also the smaller dots are present in the degradation. This is necessary to do, not to show you how to print or how to separate, but to show you the performance possible with the water base. Because everybody is afraid about the water base. But because probably you use or a wrong product or probably they are not approaching the water base in the proper way. It's quite common to have people approaching water base using the Plastisol experience. There is no big experience between the two, but the few ones are necessary to be respected. This is the only difficulty to overlap. Here we have another example. This is a color changing ink, always from the, as you can see, the color change dramatically, and looks like a foil, but of course provide fantastic resistance to the rubbing, to the washing, etc. Exactly what the foil, for example, cannot do. This is our discharge. This print is a 4-color discharge. The separation has been done with the criteria of the 4-color process.
On black.
On black, yes. This is another specialty. This is suede. The feeling is typical of the suede, but what I want to show you is how you are in condition to keep open also the negative fine line, because the suede is not going to grow enough to close the fine line, but they respect. It's going to work only on the surface, so you can feel the feeling, but not destroy the design. And the negative design has been done right to show this detail and this quality. Here I don't know if it's possible to see, but it's a gel print on top of the white, perhaps moving.
Some shining, yeah.
Yeah. This is another 4-color process. As you can see, usually you would approach this separation in a simulation process, but doing this separation in simulation process, you would need about 10 screens, or perhaps some more, and you can.
That's only CMYK.
This is only CMYK and two whites and CMYK and the specialty, of course, because when we go to print, we have to introduce our own specialty. That's not.
The gold come from?
The gold is the metallic gold, metallic silver. Another nice thing is to try to feel, and it's totally untouchable. Totally untouchable.
Wow. I cannot feel that it's there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Soft, soft, soft.
This is another thing we are working on, the softness, because it's one of the main requests from the brand. They don't want to feel. This is the reason why it's very popular discharge in the United States. But with the right product, you can avoid a lot of discharge and print regularly. This is another example of quality product. This is a glitter printed with a grayscale separation. So this is 3-color glitter. You can see that the design and the different glitter is going to work perfectly like a simulation process. And this is another solution to print glitter. Usually people is not confident to use the glitter in this way. Instead, it's the best way to be used. What I want to show you is the brightness of the glitter. For this, you need a very good binder. It doesn't scratch at all.
Getting a low battery.
Very, very strong. To achieve this brightness are necessary two things. One is the quality of the binder has to be strong, because the strongest is for two reasons. One is the durability. The second is to keep the particle and transfer the particle through the mesh on the fabric. So this is necessary to have a good quality binder. And the second one is the reflection. We recommend always when you go to prepare a glitter not to use one only side, but to mix two sides, for example 008 and 04, because this is going to create many more different angle of reflection. So the light, instead to have a ray, have multiple ray, and this gives you much more. So I recommend to use always a couple of.
So we're running out of time. How should people contact you?
We have a branch in Miami, a warehouse in New York. We have now 6 distributors. It's been very difficult for us to find distributor because we are a new brand. Not every is available. Many of them are already okay with their own water-based line. So it's been difficult for us in this year. But one of the most critical was nice product, but no distribution. That's it. That's true. That's true. We are responsible for that, but we try in anyway. Now we have 6 distributors. In our website, you can find the closest to any area. But now we are going to open other great distribution, because during the show we had 2 very interesting meetings. We are close to close the agreement, and many requests from the distributor. At last, distributor understand that we are on the market, and probably we have some product to offer the printer for an additional opportunity.
So can you tell us who those 2 new distributors are?
Not yet, because I'm not used to reveal anything if we have not that, because they can also change their mind in the between, and I don't want to.
It's a secret, okay.
Yeah.
But we've got
It's
graphic.
not a secret, but it's just a matter of.
It's not done yet. You're not married yet. So you've got Graphic Solutions Group in Texas and California shirt sales.
Texas is the most important, the best known. We have other smaller, but not the same. Very good. For example, Atlas in Chicago. We have SPR in California. We have Joe Vick in New York. Someone else. Now I not everybody in my mind, but on the website there is everything.
What is the website?
The website is virusinks.com.
Okay. This is Richard Greaves with Beppe Quaglia at SGIA 2017 here in the M&R booth, talking about virus inks. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Richard.